Budgeting. I think it is one of the most hated words when it comes to personal finance. A lot of us cringe when you talk about budgeting or spending plans or whatever it is that people are calling it these days. Either way, we hate to hear it because in our mind, it means restriction, it means keeping up with a bunch of things. And so we usually deter even thinking about doing a budget. But one of my golden models is that if we don't tell our money where our money is going, then our money will tell us. In order to build wealth, we have to always know what the numbers are. So in this video, I'm going to talk about some common budgets that people use, and I'm also going to do a walkthrough of my own budget spreadsheet that I have for sale right here on my YouTube channel and at starcarter.com that can make budgeting a whole lot simpler. So y'all stay tuned. I'd like to welcome you or welcome you back to the Starr Carter Personal Finance channel, because on this channel, we talk everything personal finance. I give y'all the skinny and the news on everything that's going on out there in these financial streets. So if this sounds like something that you're interested in, please consider being a subscriber. Make sure you guys are cutting on the notification because I have been doing a whole lot of live streams lately, giving y'all all the news of what's going on out here. So make sure you got those notifications on and give me a comment on this video today and let me know which budgeting style are you going to implement before 2024 is out. I am so interested in us getting to our personal journeys, our personal finance journeys together. So let's get started. So the first budgeting style that we're going to talk about is the 50-30-20 rule budget. So this is a very simple budget that allocates 50% of your earnings towards your rent, your food, your utilities, and then you'll do 30% towards entertainment, shopping, and all those type of things in that category. And the last 20% will go to savings and also debt repayment. So this is a very easy budget that you can start day one of you starting your budgeting journey. The second budgeting method that is very common is the envelope system budget method. Now, this is normally a cash budget method that you will use. You would set up a different category. So categories could be for your rent, your groceries, if you have a car payment, insurance, all the different categories that you spend money in every month. And you want to make sure that you allocate enough money that will carry you through the month, because once the money is spent in that envelope, you cannot dip into any other categories to get the money. You will not be able to get any more money for that specific category until the next period. So cash system is very strict. I really do like the concept of it because it lets you know exactly how much money you're spending. Another common budgeting type is the zero-based budget method. This method gives every dollar a purpose. So whatever your income is minus your expenses should always equal to zero. So every dollar has a purpose with this budget. You may have heard of this budget if you listened to Dave Ramsey's show. Another budget method can be the percentage-based budget. Now, the percentage-based budget, that's a whole lot to say at once. The percentage-based budget is kind of like the 50-30-20 rule budget, where you are setting up percentages that you're going to allocate, but you actually set up what those percentages amounts are. So it's totally up to you. Instead of you doing the 50-30-20, you could be doing a 40-30-30 or something like that. I don't even think they add up to 100, but as long as they add up to 100. But I think that's right though. 40 and 30, that's 70 plus another 30. That's 100. Yeah, so 100. Now, one of my favorite budgeting styles is the pay yourself first budget. So with that type of budget, you are already putting your savings ahead of anything else. So that's the type of budget that I started back on my personal finance journey and my credit journey back in 2017. That's the type of budget that I put in place, not even realizing that that was what I was doing, because I had started setting money aside first. Because a lot of times when it comes to our savings usually is the last on the totem pole. And sometimes you have more things going on and savings doesn't even get done. So with this one, you always put in your savings as a priority first before you allocate any other, the rest of your income. You always put in your savings first. So now that you figured out what budget style that you are going to use, then you have to figure out what median that you're going to keep track of it with. Okay. So with the envelope system that we just talked about, you will have the different envelopes to keep track of it. But if you're not using an envelope system, then you would definitely want some type of physical median that you can actually touch, or something that you can plug in like a data sheet or some type of app. So over here at Starr Carter Personal Finance Channel, I have you covered on both of those medians. So the first median that I'm going to show you that I have available right now at starcarter.com, or you can click the link down in my store right here on YouTube, is my budget planner. So I have this in two colors. I have pink and I also have black. And these are great, easy options that you can use to actually keep track of your budgeting. And I also have a budget spreadsheet, as I told you at the beginning of this video, that I'm going to actually walk you through on how to use that as well. So let's look at the inside of this budgeter. Maybe this is something that you might be interested in, keeping track of your new budget. So as I was saying, these are very easy. Again, they come in two different colors and it's very simple. You just put in your personal information in this page. This is a blank dotted page. So this is like dotted journaling like page. And then it's very simple. You get 12 pages just like this for a whole year, where you can put in your budget goal, what your checklist is, your descriptions, your income, your savings. Then because it's undated, you can fill in the dates of whatever month you want to start. Then you would just list your information as far as what your budgeted amount is and what you actually spend right here. And that's for all categories. You can add more categories, subtotals, and then at the very bottom, you can put your total budget, what you actually spent, and the difference. And also on the next page, there are expense trackers to help you keep up with everything that you're spending. And you definitely want to document every dollar. And it's also a debt tracker if you have debt. Also, a monthly budget review. You can put your opening balance, what your total income is, total expenses, differences, total savings, balance forward. And then you have a spending analysis part where you can actually color these in. I'm a person that loves to see everything in color, and I'm just a numbers girl, so that's the nerd in me. And also you can rate it, a scale of what you've done in that month. And also you can talk about other areas, that which areas you want to improve and that type of thing. And then on this side you have another blank dotted sheet for any more notes, and then you go on to the next month and so on and so forth for a whole year. It's very easy to use. Also, it's very thin, so you can tote it with you. You can put it in well, I say a medium-sized bag, maybe not a really small one, but like a backpack or a medium-sized bag. You can always take it with you, very discreet, and it's very easy to keep track of all the things that you need to keep track of. And also, it comes in the black, same exact format. Very easy, very simple to get started. Okay, so now that we looked at the paper budget planner that I offer, let's look at the actual spreadsheet. So this spreadsheet can be used with Google Sheets, that is a free database that you can use to use the spreadsheet, or with Microsoft Excel. Now, Microsoft Excel is usually a part of the Office 365 package, and it usually involves a subscription to use that. So just keep that in mind. But Google Sheets is free for everybody to use. So you would just need to download the Google Sheets app, or you can use it on the web. Now I'm on my iPad right now. You can use it on iPad. You can also use it on your phone or your Android device. Wherever you can pull up Google Sheets, you will be able to use this planner. Well, spreadsheet. All right. So when you first get the spreadsheet, you want to make sure that you make a copy of it. You want to go to your file and make a copy. So that way that you're not using the original one, just in case if you want to make some changes. Now, it's very important that you do not delete any of the cells and that you do not delete any of the columns, because these are all formatted and they flow throughout the spreadsheet. So that's very, very important. If you change anything in the layout, you will compromise your results at the very end where it says the monthly budget right here, okay? Because everything flows from each tab. So we at the first tab that says first read me. So basically making sure that you understand how this spreadsheet works. So it's very simple. You're going to pick whatever your currency is first, and then you're going to pick your categories, your log, you're going to log your bills, and then it's all going to flow into your monthly budget. Now, I have my spreadsheet in dark mode because it's just easier on my eyes, but you can always toggle this into the light mode if you want to. But my whole system on my iPad is in dark mode. So I just prefer that. I just don't want you to get yours and be like, I thought it's dark. No, there's something that you can toggle on and off. Okay. All right. So once we get over here, we're going to start with our categories. And for time's sake, I went ahead and just put some common categories in. I also have some tips over here for you. So I put rent, cell phone, renter's insurance, utilities, some of the bills that you know that you're going to have every month. Okay. And then expenses are things like your groceries, your restaurants, your entertainment, your clothes, shoes, whatever it is that you do, that might be some one-off thing that you may not do every month. Traveling, all those type of things. Like I said, I gave you some tips over here. In debts, most common debts are credit card, vehicle, personal loans, and student loans. Now, it's up to you if you want to put your mortgage in the debt column or if you want to put your mortgage in the bill column. That'll be totally up to you. It really doesn't matter as far as the spreadsheet is concerned. All right. So once you set your categories, which is very important because your categories are actually going to flow over here into the actual planner, which is going to put these in the different columns right here, like rent, cell phone, renter's insurance, utilities. Those are all the things that I put in the categories, right? And so that information is going to flow over. So you want to make sure that you put all the different categories that you know that you're going to use. And if you have any one-off ones that you don't normally, you can always use and put those into those extra spaces. All right. So let's go to the next tab, which is the log tab. So this is where you're going to log all of your different expenses. And this goes for days and days and days and days and days. So you don't have to worry about running out of space for your logs. So you're going to actually log your expenses and your subcategories, and you can always put notes. So like I'm going to do today is September the 10th. And I'm just going to hit tab. Because when I hit tab, it already knows that it's 2024. So it's going to put it in the right format for me. And my currency is in US dollars. So over here, I'm going to put $200. And let's say that this $200 with the drop down right here, the drop down, we're going to say that it is an expense. Uh-oh, hit the wrong one. I'm trying to do this with my fingers. All right. All right. So it's an expense. And then over here, the subcategory is going to be groceries, okay? And then over here, I'm going to put bought groceries from, I'm going to say, let's just say Food Line. That's a popular grocery store in my area, okay? And I'm just going to hit the check mark. And because that's September the 10th, if I come over here, I'm not going to see it because this says January. So what you want to do is on this tab, you want to make duplicate tabs. So that way you have all your different months. So we're going to start with January, but we're going to make a duplicate tab of that tab. And we're going to rename this tab. We're going to name this one as we can name it January, or we can start naming it February. It's up to you. If you want to keep your master tab, you can keep your master tab right here, or you can just name that January and name this February. Okay. So right here, we're going to just go to our drop down and we're going to just name this one February by just clicking on rename, and let's name this February. And then I just put 24 and then hit OK. And so you want to do that, so on and so forth. So because we're in September, we're just going to pretend that I went all the way out to September with my tabs, with my duplications, but I'm just going to click on September, and that way you would be able to see where I just put in that $200 for groceries. So that's right there now, because I changed the date up here, it flows over. So you just want to make sure that you are putting in the right date on the log tab, because the tab that you use, whatever your date is, that's the actual log that it's going to automatically flow in. And like I said, we were in September, so that's why the grocery showed up here. Now, also on your budget tab right here, this is where you're going to actually put your income and where you get your income from. So for time, I just went ahead and put job 5,000 is my actual amount. Freelance, babysitting. Now you can always put what you're going to expect over here. Like say if you're not on a salary, or if your hours vary, you can always put what you expect for that month, and then you can actually put what you actually got over here. Okay, so you can put what you expect and what you got, and then it will calculate the difference. So any type of income, you put that right there. Whatever your savings is going to be, you're going to put that right there. And then whatever difference is, all this stuff is going to flow over for you. Okay. So you're going to put your actual and your expected. So your expected is always your budgeted amount. And you're going to put what it actually was, and then it's going to calculate the difference. Also, at the top, when you're putting in information, all of these things up here, these bar graphs up here, are going to change. Okay. Just letting you know that. So depending on what you put in your expected, let's put 2,000 right here. See up here at the top, we have a little green one, and I can also put it in the light. So you see this little green bar where I expected it and what I actually done. Okay. So same thing with our rent. Now see, because you don't want to enter it here, see how all that popped up kind of crazy at the bottom, because you want to log everything over here. Okay. So some things you want to enter here at the top yourself, but some things you actually want to enter over here. Okay. So again, if you have any questions, you can always hit me up on my website at starcarter.com, and I'll be glad to answer any questions for you if you do purchase the spreadsheet from me. So now that you know about the different budgeting styles, the different things that you can use to actually get your budget going, what type of budget are you going to use? Tell me down in the comments. Again, I appreciate you so much for being a part of the Starr Carter Personal Finance channel. Please like this video, subscribe, and share to anybody else that might want to be starting a budgeting journey before the year of 2024 is out. I really do appreciate all the love. And guess what, guys? You can always check out these other videos that I did next.